one of the, I suppose, the inspirational voices in this whole debate, and you may know of him, and that's Herbert Girardet, who writes about the self-sufficient city. And he's very, very useful in terms of what he has to say about, in very, very understandable terms, what he says about the requirements and the necessities for a self-sufficient city. He said three qualities should characterize a sustainable city. Renewable energy, part one. Circular metabolism, that means you have this circle in nature, things come from nature and they go back to nature. So that means recycling, means biodegradables, means what you do with organic waste. So that's a circular metabolism. So that's renewable energy, circular metabolism, and carbon neutral transport. The three qualities that should characterize a sustainable city: renewable energy, circular metabolism, carbon neutral transport. What are the three biggest challenges for sustainable cities? Firstly, the creation of new jobs. Germany, in 9 years, has created 270,000 jobs from adapting to new systems of solar power, renewable, new power generations, new power, wind, wave, solar. 270,000 jobs. There is a whole economy, and I probably don't need to tell you, although I just did, that there is a whole economy about this initiative for sustainable cities and about this whole green, I suppose, trend. There are massive thousands and thousands of jobs behind this, and thousands of jobs that can be created out of it. So it's not just wishful thinking. The second challenge is cultural sustainability. What does he mean? He says it's critically important to have the flow of ideas, to include the way people think into city planning, in the decisions that affect our daily lives, to involve people in the decision making. And the example that he uses is a town in Brazil called Porto Alegre. And it's worth Googling and looking up what's happened there, where people are drawn into the decision making process. They're involved. It's their environment, it's their town, it's their city. They have a say in it, they're involved in the planning decisions. And that, going back to what I was saying right at the beginning, is a critical part of the process of a sustainable city. Thirdly, energy. And here's the challenge. For London to be a sustainable city, it needs to reduce its energy and resource consumption by 3/4. That's a huge challenge, but also a huge opportunity. It means new jobs from recycling, from renewable energy, from retrofitting buildings, from creating electro-transport systems, and so on. It's also possible to think of the solar suburb, retrofitting the fossil fuel suburb into renewable energy systems, solar systems and wind power within the suburb to power not only houses themselves, but also to power electric vehicles. He says, I think the great challenge for the architect and the city planner today is really to internalize the message that we cannot take energy supply to our cities for granted. We need to make sure that it comes from renewable sources. It's critically important for the architect and the planner to reconceptualize their jobs, to include energy issues, and particularly renewable energy. So those are the challenges, and I've mentioned the characteristics to look for, and these are things that really, if we're to have a meaningful plan for a sustainable city here in London, all of these need to be addressed. I said the steps that are on the way, all of these things which are easily available, the different conferences, the different conclusions they reached. There is a roadmap already existing, and London is some way behind, we have to catch up. But it's a big, big challenge. It's about transport, it's about lifestyles, it's about water, it's about food, it's about communities, it's about energy, it's about waste, it's about the legacy of the Olympics, and it's about time we got started on all of that. I mentioned that when we talk about leading the world in energy and leading the world in sustainable cities, it's honestly the best way to create a lot of free renewable power would be the next time that a Prime Minister or a politician says that Britain is going to lead the world in the area of sustainable development and green issues, that we should actually set up a wind farm on the east coast of Britain. to catch the gales of laughter that must come across the North Sea from Scandinavia, because they have been doing this stuff for years. And the question is, why haven't we? So as I say, we're making a start. We've got a lot of catching up to do. It's a massive footprint, as we said, the size of Spain if we're talking about London. Look at Freiburg, look at what they did there. Look at Zurich, what they did there with rubbish. Look at Melbourne, the principles that they drew up, 15 years ago for sustainable cities. The roadmap is there, the challenge is there. We have people like the architect I mentioned, Dona, and like Herbert Girardet, who are showing us the way. And it's really one of the most exciting things. It's one of the most growing businesses there is. Remember the 270,000 jobs. So you guys are in the right place at the right time, and we're looking for inspiration, and we're looking for leadership.